Welcome back to the Hope to Hope Conference, where we're talking about the power of vulnerability. And I have to just tell on our awesome the last break, she jetted out of here and she said, "I'll be back. I'm going to go write a book."
I'm right. I've already written 2 chapters.
And we're thinking, okay, you're being silly. And we went in there with the camera, and she's really writing a book on break.
Hey, Tracee, girl, I didn't know we were interviewing you. You're so beautiful. I know.
Well, I have to tell you, I didn't do very well at getting all my stuff right. So I need you, Miss Tracee Randal, to help me with introducing you, because I want the world to know all about all your awesome sauce, but I don't even know all your awesome sauce. So I need you to pretend like you're me. You pretend like you're this princess instead of that princess, and help me introduce. Would you do that for me?
I am happy to do that. Absolutely. In fact, I've got my what are you? I've got my partner here. She does a great job of introducing me. I'm just kidding. I got my agent over here. Got my husband. What intro do you want? Because I am prepared.
She's a whole team. She's like you. See, I don't have a team.
You do, team.
I don't have a team, Tracee.
You need a team? I got a team.
You got team.
I got team. I got
a tribe.
And I've met her husband, and they've been 32 years?
33 years in October.
33 years in October. I love it.
And they have a beautiful, sun porch, and she gave me sweet tea when I was fat. I love Tracee.
I don't think Dr. Cassandra realized she's making weight while she's writing that book.
You go, Cassandra, you go. You drive it.
Thank you.
Well, the thing that I do know, I'm gonna back up for a second, because the thing I do know is I did not know you when I went to Atlanta, and we were both speaking at the same event.
Right.
And when I heard you come out and just your bubbly princess self, and then you start talking to the point that you're tearing up because of the passion that's in you about the thing that you're doing. I mean, that's the bottom line. You are not playing.
Right.
You are not doing this just to hang out or just to do just a normal business. You are called to do what you are doing.
Yes.
And you have an incredible story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to tell them ahead of time, you can, about some of your accolades, but I want them to hear like your vulnerability story, because you're one little powerhouse.
Well, thank you, Kim, and I appreciate that. And I was sharing with you that my husband was there with me at that event, and I was just sharing with you before it started, and I think this is so powerful. He goes with me everywhere. We're best friends. We support each other. We are a power team, a power couple. And one of the reasons I can be so great is because he supports me in everything I've done. And I've done some crazy stuff, okay? But everything, right? But everything I do, I don't play. I've never had time to play. I came into this world with a mission. I didn't know what it was. It took me a minute to really step into my greatness and be my awesome sauce, but absolutely my husband completes me, and I'm grateful for that. But he goes everywhere I go, and we were at the Entrepreneur Her event, mostly women and a few brave men, and Bobby's sitting there, and these speakers come up, and he's like going, "Why did you make me come here? I should be mowing the yard. I got things to do. I can't believe this woman's event." And he's normally pretty, like he likes sitting next to me because I'm arm candy, right? And so that's a joke.
No, is that a joke?
Look, here's the deal, because I'm going to share my story. The fact that I can even say out loud that I am beautiful is a big deal. I was never able to say that because I didn't believe it until just 4 years ago, really 2 years ago, and I'm 57 years old. And so it took me 55 years to step into my greatness, Kim, and to really know who I was. What?
You are gorgeous.
Thank you. Well, anyway, so my husband's sitting there just like mad at me for and I'm like, just be here, just be in the moment, just deal with it. You're here. And so suddenly you come up to the stage and I look over and Bobby's writing notes and just, give me a pen. I'm like, so I'm looking at him and he leans over and he goes, did you hear that? Did you hear what she just said? And I'm like, whoa. So you just made that conference for him, that event for him. And I just fell in love with you because when my husband is moved by something like that, now he's moved. Don't get me wrong. I married a man that's very vulnerable, that tears up. He's got passion, about all kinds of things, the same things that I do. But for him to really take notes and, he was elbowing me because I think he thought I wasn't doing what you were saying. And so, he was making sure I was. I'm like, I gotta watch it.
You made me cry.
It was big. It was a big deal. He quit getting. He was not mad at me after that, so I was grateful.
And we don't turn down for anything. That's why we don't do.
That's right.
I don't think the recording came on right when we were there either, because that's what I usually come out to turn down for. What? That crazy stuff. If you'd have heard that, he might have started taking notes so quick.
He's pretty cool. Anyway, thank you for making my husband take notes and really he was changed. It wasn't just the note taking that he did. He was changed by what you spoke about. So I just think that's so powerful.
That's amazing coming from a power couple like y'all are. That's what's amazing to me. Well, you all blessed me. I loved being with y'all. And I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're going to be able to tell everybody that's watching, your story, because people go through things. We've been talking about that all day, that, the power that we get from the vulnerability that we're willing to allow. But you have been through a lot of things. You have had some, health scares. You've had a lot of things going on. But when we were talking about you doing this interview, you just blessed me to my middle because you want to address the fact that it took you 55 years to love you, to even like you.
Wow. Yeah.
To be beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling you.
And go ahead.
Okay. I was telling you earlier when we were just chatting, I said, that my husband got sexier as I got sexier, right? And what that means really in being very vulnerable is that for so many years, even from the time we got married when I was 20, we got married when we were 24. And so that's 33 years. And I didn't love myself. In fact, I had spent an entire lifetime up to that point of self-hate, depression, panic and anxiety attacks. And my biggest fear was other women. Being around other women, they intimidated me. And I was afraid of women. I never felt like I measured up. I felt invisible. In fact, my coming out party was an entrepreneur her 2 years prior when Sean Thomas asked me to come share my story. And I shared about feeling like that I was this horribly ugly, caterpillar that was cramped inside of this cocoon, and I could not break free. And I had no idea that I had developed into something beautiful. But when I did, at 55 years old, suddenly I felt sexy. I felt beautiful. I felt like the woman that I probably had always been, but didn't know. Mm-hmm. And when that happens when you're married and you're 55 years old and suddenly you're going, come here, honey. Because when you feel beautiful, you want, that when you feel ugly, When you,
so cute.
I guess you know what I'm trying to say. So for 25, 30 years, Bobby's going, anyway, and then finally I'm like, let's go. And he's like, who are you? And where did you come from? And, it's been amazing. So anyway.
Bobby likes his sexy wife.
I know that's right.
And what I found too is that because now I feel so good about myself, I can love him better. I can love him more. And I began to really edify who he is to me. And when you have a wife that doesn't feel good about themselves, then they don't know how to love right. They don't know how to edify who you are, because the main thing I didn't want him to ever see was me, naked. I didn't want him to see me, vulnerable. And if you don't love yourself, you just can't give yourself to someone else fully. So, after 30 years, we're like best friends. But now I'm in the kitchen. I'm like, you are so sexy. You are so adorable. You are so cute. And he's like, who, me? And I'm like, yes, you. And it's really, I know this wasn't the way the interview was supposed to go, but I don't think there was a real, hopefully there wasn't in a script.
This is awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, because, here's the thing that I think I'm 50 this year, and I'm excited about being 50. But that's another thing that I think we've missed some of the thing about the older women are supposed to teach the younger women. And, we can't teach them how to love their husbands and be sexy for their husbands if we don't feel that.
Mm-hmm. So true.
If we're fighting that, and you can't turn around and teach something you don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I think your story is amazing because you have a good man, and he stayed with you all through those years that you didn't think you were sexy. He thought you were sexy the whole time. Ask him. Tell him I'm asking the question. Did he not think you were sexy the whole time? Because he will tell you were.
Well, I'll ask him, and then I'm going to post the answer on Facebook tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm going to tag you.
Do that. Because I have a feeling he's going to say the whole time.
Oh my God. Roz Knight Warfield said, she posted, go to the kitchen naked and put on an apron, honey, and see. Well, we're taking this to a whole nother level.
Tell her that I don't cook, so if there's any cooking going on in the kitchen, it ain't in a pot.
I love it.
I quit
Tracee.
Cooking too, okay? I quit cooking meals, so, and that's not something that I'm going to get good at.
Well, that's a mature women teaching the younger women, honey.
Oh my goodness. I think everybody that's watching and seeing this video knows exactly why I fell in love with you in an instant. I absolutely adore your personality. You are so fun. And the truth is, being serious for a second, how can women who don't feel good about themselves, and I didn't either, growing up and everything, I didn't feel good either. And so how can women start addressing that in themselves, to come out that confident butterfly from the caterpillar? How can they start taking steps towards that? Roz, if you were on earlier, Roz talked about looking in the mirror, and I always tell everybody to take selfies. Selfies aren't about showing off. They're about loving you and being okay with you. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give for someone who needs to start loving themselves?
That is such a great question. And, one of the things that forced me out of my cocoon, out of my fear, was actually my love for my son, my oldest son, Robbie. Robbie was born with a horrible disease, which also shaped why I'm so passionate about wellness and health. And so kind of the backstory is that, here I was, severe panic and anxiety attacks. My son was 22 years old, my oldest son at this point, and Kim and Cassandra, I had not left my home literally for 3 years. And I know you find that hard to believe, knowing who I am today, but I was a prisoner in my own home. I couldn't leave. I was fearful of everything, and I just felt, so powerless. But I still ran a large company. I mean, what we do is sometimes we hide those things and we overcompensate in other ways when we're trying to feel loved and powerful. Always had great grades in school, the best in school, the best at this, the best at that, and all the while just feeling so much self-hate and depression and anxiety. But I fought it in my boldness and in my quirkiness and in the fun, the fun when you can get people to laugh. And so you don't know anything about that, do you? And so my oldest son was 22, and he was covered in sores. He was itching nonstop. He was in lots and lots of pain. And when you are a mom, you're going to do whatever it takes to step out and do whatever it takes to help your son heal or your child heal. And I'm just sharing this part because someone could actually translate this in another way. So let me just kind of share this, and then I'll go back to your question. So during that process, we were on a journey and a mission to help our son heal. And my husband, my great husband, Bobby, I was sitting around the house, depressed, full of anxiety, fear. I hadn't left my house. And when we got married, I was a social butterfly. I was out there, but there was alcohol involved, and that gives you strength, that gives you power. It does, I mean, the only way that I could feel confident enough to walk into a room in all seriousness was to have a glass of wine, because then I had a little more confidence and a little more boldness, and I, that was my medication for the self-hate and the depression. So I had quit drinking, of course, and so he said, you've got to get out of this house. So he forced me out of the house, and I began working out at a all women's health club, and I would go in the middle of the day when no one else was there. And it was there that I met this woman, the instructor, who I just started talking to her, and I shared about Robbie, and she invited me to go to a seminar that explained about a product that she thought could help Robbie. Well, it turns out it was a direct sales company. I didn't know that. She invited me to a meeting, and I had so much fear and anxiety and panic about going to that meeting, but because it was going to help my son, I overcame that fear. And I went to the meeting, and I was surrounded by, the energy of that. And it was the direct sales industry for me that really helped me, because they embrace you. They embrace you so much in that industry. So for me, that was the start to my journey. But that was still, he's 32 now, so that was 10 years ago. And that helped me get out of my comfort zone. But one of the things I want to share is that when you take the focus off of you and you focus on something else, it makes it so much easier to let go of those fears about yourself. When you do have self-hate and you do think you're so, ugly or whatever, you are focused on yourself, and it's very self-serving, and it's very lonely. And so I would encourage someone to find something that gives them passion, that they focus on something or someone besides themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very so. I want somebody about like direct sales or multi-level marketing or any of the that's something that no, I'm sorry, we're getting feedback. I just want to address the part of this. I'm sorry, I'm having a terrible time. I don't know what. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up pretty bad.
Okay.
Every third word.
That's how we roll. It's in the number threes.
Yeah.
I want to like address like a lot of people don't look at that. Reality, that is such a powerful way to do business because they give you the business model, they give you training, they give you instruction, they give you all kinds of things to come and be a part of their company.
Yeah.
And so I mean, just listening, I want them to hear that part because I think that kind of business is sexy. When you don't have to invent the wheel.
I agree.
And you are able.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that joining a direct sales company is what gave me confidence. I'm saying that it was my focus on my son that made me walk out into a place that I would have never gone otherwise. And then the support of that, and I began to, but even for the next 8 years, I still had fear, but I overcame it because, again, that company gave me a direction where now I could focus on helping other people. And you know, when you're focused on helping someone else with whatever it is, you lose your self-absorption.
Yes. And you know, it's funny because I can relate to you and like not feeling good about doing some things I used to be terrified to speak in front of more than one person. I mean, you could line the whole world up and I'd speak to one person at a time.
Yeah.
But I had to get past myself. It was me that was the problem. It was me focusing on whether, like I laugh now about, you know, if I die, make sure my mascara's on. And, you know, we were just laughing a few minutes ago, you know, just make sure. But the truth is, I just did a conference last weekend with Dr. Cassandra, and I had an allergic reaction. I don't know if you even saw the thing.
Oh my gosh, I saw that.
but here's the thing: if I wasn't past that, which I will say, it was vanity that caused the allergic reaction. It was the vanity of those glitter highlights I was trying to cover up.
Right.
But the thing is, when you get past yourself, that's when you can actually help people. You can't help people when you're more worried about what you look like, or you're more worried about that you don't measure up. Because I think that's what I hear more than anything is you weren't measuring up to what you thought you should, and then you don't help anyone.
Yeah, and you know, I think the journey of self-awareness and also really tapping into the true gift and passion and the destiny that God has put in each and every one of us. I'm doing a training right now with one of my teams about the law of being different, the law of being different, and we're talking about that God has a passion and a path put inside of each one of us that completes the other. And when you identify what your true gift and passion is, then all of those things that were holding you back, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing that you can do to hold yourself back from walking in that passion. Then it just becomes so much bigger than you, and it doesn't matter anymore. But I will tell you that I spent a lot of time doing what I call positive faith formations. And this is a trick of the subconscious. So powerful. We've heard of affirmations. Everybody knows what an affirmation is, the law of attraction, I ams. I call them faith formations because I combine my faith and my belief in God with saying positive words. And we know that the spoken word is powerful. Well, for so many years, I have been saying to myself, I'm ugly. I've got a big nose. I hate my head. I hate everything about myself. So I began to consciously say things about myself that I did not believe, but but I needed my subconscious to hear my own voice speak over myself. So I wrote down all over the place, I am beautiful, I am powerful, I am bold, I am statements. And ladies, I said them every single day, over and over and over again. And you know, my business partner, Carol, we'd be driving to a conference together, and she'll go, pull out your faith formations, because for so many years, you've got these negative things going on in your head, and it's in your subconscious, and you're thinking those things, but your subconscious, man, my subconscious now, I've got it reprogrammed. But that was really the breaking point for me, where I really did it. I didn't just say I was going to do it, I did it. And it worked. It was powerful.
You are so amazing.
I love that. I love it. I love it, Tracee. Because what we're doing is we're regurgitating the word. Mm-hmm. And the Bible said we're to put God in remembrance of his word. And so we're just doing that. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Faith formation.
Faith. Yes.
Faith formation.
I think that should be a hashtag.
It is.
My hashtag, girl.
They said it is. And so it shall be. And there it is.
And there. Now,
I love it.
Faith has to be in all caps, Roz. All caps, faith, and then formations. Okay, so hashtag it.
Hashtag it. You gotta hashtag it right.
That's right.
Make sure.
Because Miss Tracee don't play.
That's right. You're right.
Tracee. Well, okay, so I know that you have shared that, and that is a really big deal, but I also would like for you to quickly tell us about, like, the health things, because your son having that and you finding something that would help him, all of that is a huge deal. Because when our babies are hurting, I mean, you're right about Mama Bear going to fight for her cubs, because we want to protect them.
We have to.
I mean, I have one that's 27, and he's, as big as a grizzly bear, and I still would take somebody to the dirt if they mess with him if I could.
That's it. Well, you asked me to share a little bit more about myself earlier, and through my journey of working first with that direct sales company, helping my son to heal, helping his body to heal, because I'd spent 22 years already educating myself on, how to help my son heal, I had so many people that were looking to me for natural remedies. And when I found this company and product line that did help my son to heal, I, of course, don't play. So I began to really research what this product and company could do. And I found that the company that and so I found that the product that I was working with was also the #1 nutritional recommendation by the American Anti-Cancer Institute, which is a nonprofit that educates on the natural treatment of cancer and disease. So I contacted the author of that book. His name is Bob Wright. And what had happened, Kim, is Dr. Cassandra, is I've been going around doing these workshops that I called Get Mad About Cancer. Make a decision that cancer won't touch you or the ones that you love. And I was using his book as a reference, as credibility. I think I've got his book right here. Well, anyway, I normally have it right here with me, but I'm going around holding up his book going, this man, it's in this book, and I'm endorsed by the American Anti-Cancer Institute. Well, I started getting a little more visual in Facebook, and some people were videotaping me, and I thought, man, he's going to see a video of me talking about him and how he endorses me. I better get him to endorse me. So after the fact, I call him. I know, right? I'm like, woo. So I contacted I live in Atlanta. He lives in Washington. I emailed him. I called his office. I said, I've got to talk to you. And I got him on the phone. That was the law of attraction, first of all, because I want to tell you, I had written a note card. See, I'd written a note card like this, and it said, I am endorsed by Bob Wright, the founder of the American Anti-Cancer Institute. I wrote that on a vision card, and I had it all over my house. Well, I had to get a hold of him. So he calls me back, and we had a 2-hour conversation, and he loved my energy. He loved what I was doing. He loved my Get Mad About Cancer stance. He said, heck yeah, I'll endorse you. Now, he's an older gentleman. He's probably in his late 60s, early 70s. So here I am, this dynamic, crazy, standing on my soapbox, sharing, my craziness, and he's very conservative, so we make a really great match. But he's like, absolutely, I'll endorse you. So that's how I got involved with Bob Wright. So I am now, I just have to make an announcement. I was just asked to be the vice president of his board. And so I'm really proud of that. And I work really closely with Bob, and my passion is education. We have to educate young moms. My newest soapbox, my newest passion is absolutely educating moms on some simple things they can do to prevent disease in their children. And what we don't know, what most people don't know, and cancer has become a word like, I don't know, like a cold. Everybody's got cancer. So we don't think about it anymore. It breaks my heart. You see on Facebook, please pray for so-and-so, they have cancer, they have cancer, they have cancer. It's like the common cold today. And the reason is because there's so much of it going around that it's no longer different. See, in my day, in 1978, when I was a teenager, if someone got cancer, the whole city knew about it. We were like, oh my God, let's pray. Let's do this. Today, all your neighbors have cancer. So we take it for granted and we accept it. We've got to stop the madness. That's another hashtag, stop the madness. We got to stop the madness. We've got to get another hashtag, get our heads out of the sand, moms, and change. We got to change, Kim. Dr. Cassandra? Sorry.
I'm hashtagging.
Am I yelling? I'm so sorry if I'm yelling. I don't mean to yell.
No. We do want your toes. I'd be hashtagging, but I can't see without my glasses.
We have to.
Now,
go ahead.
I'm excited though to hear, because the thing is I don't have it, and I'm thankful I don't. But I think that is, like you said, it's like a cold. I think it's so common now that we are desensitized.
That's it.
And so what can we do today? Because I'm all about today. We can't fix the future. We can't change the past. But what can we do today to be healthier?
I'm about today too. And what my platform is, and of course I want to help you and Dr. Cassandra and all the people that we know, continue to prevent and avoid this disease. But the hope for the future is the young moms, ages 18 to 35. Because here's what's happening. Today, there are so many chemicals coming into contact with our bodies, as women especially. And what we have to do is reduce the number of chemicals coming into contact with our body. Because what's happening is that these chemicals are being stored in our fatty cells. And as when we get pregnant, the same chemicals are going into the umbilical cord of our babies, and our babies are being born with cancerous cells. The first generation of babies to already have cancer in their bodies when they're born. So we have to stop that madness, and we've got to educate the moms. So I'm on a mission, and I've got several different ways that we can do that. And of course, one of the newest ways that you met me doing is a company that we're launching called Inspire. And we've got a healthier sanitary pad that actually works, that's chemical free. That is a huge deal, because the main chemical in those pads that we've been using for 30 years is a chemical called dioxin. And dioxin is linked to birth defects, infertility. It's absolutely linked to cancer, and there's no amount of dioxin that should ever come into contact with our body. Well, guess what? This chemical is being found in the bloodstreams of our babies. So what we have to do today, Kim, is we have to educate these moms on how to boost and build their immune system. It's simple. the medical world makes it so complicated. You know, people try to make it so stinking complicated because they want to sell you something. And all it takes is reducing the amount of chemicals coming into contact with your body and doing something to boost the immune system. And now you have healthy babies that start off healthy. And then you've got to just really make some changes about how you feed them. That's it. It's simple.
Because I can't do complicated.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that I think I can't do complicated, and I don't even have young babies at home. I don't know how I would ever do complicated and have young babies. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love it. I love these, you know, and I'm sure that you're on this mission. And so I just want to know, how can we help you, Tracee, to get even to the teens? Sometimes the moms now, these new moms, are leaving it to the teens to determine, you know, even what type of sanitary products they want to use. They have no idea. This is new for them. But we, you know, these moms are like, well, what do you want to use? And they're going, well, Mom, whatever you tell me to use.
Yeah.
Well, see,
So,
that's
I mean,
yeah, that's the key. And so that's why we have to educate the moms. And our company, Inspire, I'm one of the spokeswomen for them. When they found, you know, my mission with the American Anti-Cancer Institute and my mission to educate, you know, they contacted me and said, hey, you know, this is in alignment with your mission, which it is. And so what you can do to help us spread the awareness, we have a Now We Know campaign. Now that we know about the toxicity in the products we use, we say no. And Kim, I know it can't be complicated for these moms. A lot of them are working. Many of them are single moms. You know, it's not, we're past the Beaver Cleaver days. Do y'all know who Beaver Cleaver is?
I do.
You know, where we clean house in our pearls. We're past those days. And so we're warriors. The moms today are warriors. And so we've got to put on our full armor, and we've got to protect our children first, because Kim, if you're a mom and your child is diagnosed with any disease, I'm sorry, you don't have time for that either. In fact, now you're in defense mode rather than offense mode. I got to get some moms in offense mode. And the way that you can do that is get me in front of groups of women. I'm an incredible speaker. I don't charge to speak about my passion or mission. I educate. And it does, you know, I love the simplicity of the Inspire Cherish Pad, because it, first of all, is a product that works. It doesn't cost any more than what women are already spending on their sanitary pads. It's chemical free, and it's got an immune system booster in it. So we're actually doing a really fun product demo at my daughter-in-law's home. I've got three granddaughters and a grandson, and we're inviting young girls. We're inviting girls 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and we're going to educate them on, you know, how to, I've done it before, and it's fabulous. The girls love it, and they feel so grown up, and we, you know, just teach them about what's about to happen to their bodies in a positive way, and they never have to have anything like that, the chemical, come into contact with their bodies. And that opens the door for them to change some other things. We really do need to change about, you know, the lotions that we're putting on our children. And Kim, I'm not asking a mom to do everything at once. Do one new thing a month. One new thing a month. Keep it really simple. At the end of 12 months, you've got 12 changes. And it's not like it's overwhelmed you. And I get that. And you just put into your budget those things that will make a big impact. And so I love it. But how can you help me? I want to speak to women's groups. I need to be in front of cheerleading squads and sororities. And I need to be in front of schools and church groups and women's organizations. And I need to have 15 minutes to speak and get them to realize that they can make these changes. The biggest fear, Kim, is that, like you said, I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid I can't do it. But at the end of the day, if we don't do it, cancer is the #1 killer of our children. So whether you want to change or not, you don't have an option or a choice.
Well, and I think you're just amazing, because, you know, you're willing to do that without even charging to come and speak, if anyone is watching us that has a venue that Miss Tracee can come to, I can tell you she's a dynamic speaker. Mm-hmm. She is not kidding when she says she can speak well. She rocked the house whenever I met her, and I thought, man, when I grow up, I want to be like her. So
sexy in the kitchen.
Sexy in the kitchen and everything.
I love that. Sexy in the kitchen.
That's a hashtag.
That's a hashtag.
Don't get me started.
Hey, I'm thinking that's a great way to get you into some places.
You know what? Not only are you reaching the young girls and the young moms, you have a lot of grandmas that are raising girls now. And so even going into places even our age, because we're grandmas at this age too, Tracee. We still look fabulous though. They need to know, because they don't. I remember my grandma told me to cut up some sheets. I'm like, Grandma, no, we don't do that anymore. But even grandmas that are raising their grandchildren, they need to know, because sometimes young girls who think that they can't go to their moms or talk to their moms, they always know that they can go cuddle into those arms of love with grandma, and that grandma's going to tell them right. So we don't want to diss grandma, because grandma is still valid.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm the Gammy to 3 beautiful granddaughters. So you better believe I have some, of course I'm blessed to have a daughter-in-law that knows all of these things, that educates me on all of these things. I'm very blessed to have that, and she's been able to do it. I mean, my 4 grandchildren have never eaten processed sugar, and my oldest one is 6, and my youngest one is 6 months. And my son and my daughter-in-law are missionaries. They do it on a missionary's budget, and so it can be done. And actually, I'm working on a series of webinars that I can educate too, because events are awesome, but to be able to invite women, to just come and watch a webinar, watch a recorded something, I am in the process of working on that and making that available.
Well, what do you have available right now?
What do you have that's coming up right now?
What do you have right now, Miss Tracee?
Well, I do want to share that, when I got past all of the fear that I had, and I mean, like, really, I don't think you could embarrass me today. I really don't. I love it. Just like when I saw you looking pretty rough with all that thing going on with your reaction, Kim, I have to tell you, I had to do a little. Oh, Lord, I was going, would I do that? I don't know. But it would be hard to embarrass me now. So as a result of who I've become, as I've stepped into my greatness, that's what I call it. I love to empower women to step into their greatness, and whatever that is. And so as a result of me stepping into my greatness, my friend and business partner, Carol, and I were asked to take ownership of a 15-year-old women's networking organization here in Atlanta called Experience Connections. And I'm the CMO, that's Chief Motivational Officer, whoop, whoop. And so you talked about, how did you turn vulnerability into power? So now, we lead these women's organization, and what do I have right now that I'm really excited and proud about is we actually created a book collaboration called Insider Tips 1 and 2, and it's 100 innovative ways to increase profit. And each book has so it's tips. This one is 100 tips, and it's tips on how to build a direct sales team, how to brand on social media. It's branding tips. It's networking tips. It's just how to start a business. They're fabulous tips, and it's a collaborative of, I think this one is 16 different people that have all been very, very successful. And so the reason that I'm excited about this is because these books will help a woman or a man, but a woman step into their greatness. These books are so powerful, and so that's my one thing, and you can find them on my website, but I do also have some information about the Inspire and the Cherish pad there, but I'm really proud of these books, and I wanted to share about those because what they mean to me is that I've just been able to empower other women to share part of their story and journey here, and they're really tips that work. So they're awesome.
I love it. Can you post it, like when we're off, can you post a link for us so
Sure.
that we can, like, so that they can find your website? Tell us what your website is.
Okay, so my website is my name, and you spell it with 2 E's, so make sure and get that right. Roz, you're so good. She's a lot of Roz's, but I want to meet Roz. I love Roz. It's TraceeRandal.com. And if you go to shop and books, I'm offering a little special for the people that are on this, part of this conference, the Hope to Hope conference. And I've got a coupon code for $5 off if you put the coupon HOPE in when you buy the package.
Oh, yeah. You're so awesome.
Yeah.
You are so awesome. I hope you can come back tonight at 7 and be with all the speakers too for
Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time. I keep forgetting that part. 7 Central.
Yeah.
So that we can, like, anyone that has questions can come and ask you and like interact with you. This is the only place I know that you can get this much access to this much awesomeness. I mean, this is crazy. Crazy awesome sauce. And you are just amazing. And I love you being sexy in the kitchen. I love that you helped your son get better. I love that you love you because we love you. And I have to tell you, I think it's a funny thing that when I looked at you at that conference, I really thought, man, you were one of the most beautiful women I have ever seen. And to know that you didn't even know that was like a secret or something. Because you're adorable on here, but in real life,
she's adorable too.
You're adorable inside and out, and you're just a little powerhouse. That's all I can keep saying. You are a little ball of energy.
Well, I tell you, both of you ladies are amazing, and just to be, I have to pinch myself to think, really, I'm on the same platform with you two amazing ladies, and the women that we come into contact with that are so amazing and powerful. It blows me away. It blows me away. And I felt the same way about you, Kim. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this woman is so dynamic, so confident, so powerful. And, before I would be extremely jealous of women like you. And that's a whole nother story. But the jealousy that I had of women like you guys, you women that are so powerful, I couldn't even be one-on-one. One-on-one scared me more than a whole group, because in a whole group I can hide. But one-on-one, no, not going to happen. So thank you for allowing me to walk.
Hey, Tracee, we're going to be in Atlanta in March. Now, I didn't tell you last time we come, so it was on my take full responsibility. But me and my co-conspirator here, and Roz and the rest of us, we are going to be back in Atlanta in March of 2018. So I'm giving you ample notice. We need to kaboom our two groups together, and we need to make beautiful music together and find out what we can do to help one another.
Absolutely. Let me check my calendar. March of 2000. Do you have a date? Because I'm sorry.
Do we have a date?
Let's see. Don't play. Don't play with me.
Okay, don't play with you. Okay, hold on.
Tracee, don't play.
I got to be quick here. I think we're looking at either March 17th or March 24th. We'll be there, Tracee. I'll let you know.
I'm going to put you down for the whole month of March, 2018.
Hey, if you run with us, we can keep you that busy.
Yeah, we sure can, Tracee. Don't play.
I believe you.
You like road trips?
Oh, absolutely. And Dallas is my hometown.
Is it?
Really?
I didn't know that.
I know. I went to high school. Well, I went all through school in Dallas, and it's my 40th high school reunion this year. 40. Yeah, 40.
Well, you need to come. You need to come and then hang out with us while you're here.
When are you coming?
Well, okay. I just need another reason. All right, we'll talk.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say you got your calendar.
Yeah. Well, let us know offline, because I know you have followers and followers. So let us know, and we will make sure. Girl, look, I got a truck with tires and gasoline. I'm ready to go.
I don't know what. I'll figure it out. I got it on my calendar. I'll find it out.
You're so cute. You are so cute. Well, thank you so much for being on, and we can't wait for you to be back on at 7. But
Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time. Dr. Cassandra's got to help me.
What you got up there? What's that?
What's it say?
Vision.
I
attract people. That's right.
We have big vision.
Oh my God! I wish I would have bought our big glasses. Man, girl, we got big.
Have you seen our big glasses?
Yeah,
we have
I'm gonna post that on here. The picture. We have big vision, Tracee.
I know you do. I'll be back on Facebook Live.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and tell Bobby thank you, and y'all be sexy in the kitchen till 7.
I'm going to church, girls. I'm going to church. I'll see you. I'll see you later.
All right.
Thank y'all so much. It was fun.
Thank you. Well, this is Kim White with the My Sexy Business Team.
And this is Cassandra Bradford Wilson with Genesis Preferred Solutions, and we are signing off
from the Hope to Hope Conference.
Yes. This is fun.
Isn't she awesome?